Okay, so in my last video I shown you me making these compound flanges on my backhead and my throat plate. As you can see, I've just got this one temporarily fitted into the outer firebox, ready just to finish this joint off to get my dimensions, and I have still got to take a light skim across these diameters just to make it all nice and smooth, ready to fit in the relative parts of the boiler. So that'll be a job to go in pipeline for future just at the moment. But now I'm just concentrating on this next set of tube plates, and I'll just zoom in on that drawing. So I've got to make two smaller flanges now, flange plates with just a single flange on, and they're to fit in my inner firebox, and then the end of my barrel, which is the same diameter as this. So you'll have the, just zoom out again. So I'll have my inner firebox here with tubes coming into it, and then they'll run straight through my barrel into this end. So the tubes will be at the bottom of my barrel but at the top of my inner firebox, if that makes sense. It'll all come clear as things come together. Right, so where I'm up to at the moment then with this, I've got my plates ready to mark out and just to cut into the appropriate diameter. But what I'm on with now is I'm just on my milling machine. I've made the blank to do the outer flange and put the locating pegs in. I'm just making now the other plate to go on the top to clamp these plates together. So there'll be another plate on top to clamp them together so I can form my flange. And at the same time, while I'm making the other former, I'm in my milling machine making all these coordinates for me where my tubes are going to fit, and I'm just drilling small holes in so I can transfer them over to copper once it's flanged. But that drawing there, I'll just zoom into that. That shows arrangement of the fire tubes looking from the front where the barrel is. But that particular arrangement, I won't be doing that arrangement. I'll be putting two superheaters in these bigger diameter tubes here, so it slightly alters the arrangement, just very slightly. So I'm over in milling machine at the moment, marking all these coordinates out to drill the holes to make things simple, so I can just transfer everything over through my former. So I'll just show you on milling machine what I'm doing with that. I've turned the disc to the correct diameter. I've got it set in my milling machine, and as you can see, I've marked off. I've centre drilled all the positions of the tubes that's going to fit, so that when that's in my former, when I'm forming my flange and that's sitting on the inside, I can then just transfer with a punch straight through these holes. So I've got all my tubes marked onto my plate, because what happens is all you do then is you mark one of the flange plates with the holes at the bottom, and then you invert this 180 degrees to do the other flange plate, and they're identical then, them holes. So that's where my tubes will run through my boiler. I'll just zoom in a bit to that, I think, if I can. Right, just trying to get a good shot of that. I think that's best I can do. This handle's in the way, but as you can see, I've got all my holes now positioned. So I'm just going to continue with that. And while I'm doing them holes for my tubes, if I can just zoom out again, just at drawing, I'm going to mark the position of where the steam tube comes on the top of this particular flange. That's at the front. So while I've got it in, I'm going to mark them holes as well, and also mark my stay holes, so that everything's ready just to transfer onto flange and make life a bit easier, rather than having to mark it out individually. Okay. Okay then, you saw in one of my previous video clips how I made two of these compounded flanges. I went into quite a bit of detail on how I did that and how I made the formers and everything. So just briefly, I'm just going to quickly show you the other two flange plates that I'm making. And it's the front one for the barrel, they're both 5-inch diameter, and the rear one for the inner firebox. And you probably saw on my workbench in one of my previous clips them two flat pieces of copper that I had ready and waiting. Well, I've now cut them into the appropriate dimension circle. I think it was 6-inch, to make these flanges. And I'm not going to go into great detail with these because you've already seen me do other flanges and it's just repeating. But here's my former for this single flange, and I've put two locating holes in and drilled two locating holes in the flange before I started to bend it. And all I've done is pick two of the positions for two of the tubes, the fire tubes that come through, the boiler tubes. So I've picked two of them up, drilled them into copper so that they locate nicely onto my flanging block. Then I've put this other block on top just to clamp it all together, and as you can see I've started to already flange this one. It's ready for annealing again, but I'm probably 80% over with this now, so I've just got that little bit more to do on that. Then I've got another one to do the same, and then it'll be in the lathe then, my next step, and it'll be just to face these up to the correct length, or width rather. Well, it could be length, it could be width, whichever way you look at it. And they'll want a final skim on the outside just to be a nice fit into the tube which they fit in. So they'll just want a nice little light skim off till they fit correctly. And that's about all I'm going to say on them. I think, as I said, you've seen me do them other compound flanges, so I think that'll be enough on that at the moment. So I'm going to continue with this then, and then I'll catch you in my next video. Okay, then moving on to the next part. I'm over on my Harrison lathe at the moment, and as you can see in front of you, I've got the barrel set up in the lathe. So what I'm doing today on this little part is this is me drawing here. This is my barrel, 14 1/8 long, and then I'm doing my inner firebox, which is the same tubing, and that's 5 3/8 long. So when I bought this material, I allowed approximately 3/16 or 5mm on the lengths, because obviously when they're rough sawn you can't guarantee they're going to be running true on the faces, and in my case that was a fact because this were running quite a bit out. So as you can see, I've got the barrel in the lathe at the moment, and how I've gone about this is, well, I'll just show you fire tube. That's my fire tube, 5 3/8. I've got that to do next, and I shall be doing that the same way I'm doing the barrel. So I've got this barrel in the lathe at the moment in my 4-jaw chuck, And what I've done, I've machined 2 blanks up, 5-inch diameter, which is the same diameter as the bore of the tubing. I've got one in the chuck end, so I don't squash the copper with my jaws. I'm only holding it lightly though, but just to belt and brace it, I've put this disc of plywood in back here, and then I've made the same size disc for the front, and as you can see I've got it pushed into the bore. It's a snug fit, and I've pushed it into the bore approximately 3/4 of an inch or 20mm, and then so I can push my centre into that disc of wood, plywood. I've put a support down middle like so. I've took a measurement of what I needed. It was 12 and a quarter inch, I think, and then on the chuck end I've screwed my disc to that piece of wood. It's a piece of 2x2 wood, so that's in me going up my barrel like that, and then I've sewn it to length at this end. You can use any wood as long as it's going to support it. And then on this plywood disc at the front, in my case I've just counterbored a little recess in the wood so that I could just locate my centre support like so. So I've got one end screwed to the chuck, and I've got other one in a recess up the barrel here with a centre in, and I've put my revolving centre in. So as you can see, I've started this, so I'll just show you it in action. And I'm just taking light cuts. So I've trued one face up. I shall turn it around now and then set it up the same and then machine it to length. And then I've got to do the same procedure with the firebox, but I'll have to shorten that internal support to suit this firebox. So that's how I've gone about doing my barrels. I don't think there's anything more to say really on that. It's pretty straightforward, as long as you just beware and don't try to take too much at a time. Just take very light cuts off, even if it takes a bit longer. So I'll continue with that then off camera. Yeah, I've just shortened that piece of wood, that piece of supporting wood in middle to put my inner firebox in, and I've set that up in lay now, and I thought I'd just let you be aware of this. The face is running quite a bit out. It's about 3 to 4mm out of true on face, so this one is particularly bad, so you have to just be aware of that when you're getting your sawn off copper, to allow plenty to skim it up. Okay, just to clarify what I did, I put a spacer at the chuck end and a spacer at the tailstock end with the support in the middle, like so, and I did a little recess in that one just to locate on that so it run true, and that's how I held the barrel and the inner firebox, and they're both completed now to length.